Hello and welcome to Banter and Chill with your host, Inni Baby. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Banter and Chill podcast. First of all, shout out to all the new listeners. Whoever put you onto this, please tell them a big thank you because obviously the person knows ball. If you're an old timer, thank you very much for listening. Thank you for turning up. Thank you for sharing the podcast. Thank you for genuinely believing in what we have going on here. Now, this episode is coming out late again, just like the last time. But in this life, the less you do, the less you want to do. So I'm trying not to get comfortable with missing deadlines, although I'm feeling at it. But I'm trying not to get comfortable with missing deadlines or, saying, I've missed the deadline, let me just leave it. No, even if I miss the deadline, I still try as much as possible to put it out because half bread is better than none. It's better to try and show up consistently than to make all those big plans in your head about how your next podcast will sound when you finally launch or come back into it. So I don't know if anybody understood that point I just made. But yeah, that's why we're here. But I promise we're going to get back on track soon. My life is a bit shaky right now, but we'll definitely get back on track soon. So I'll start posting every 2 Wednesdays as promised. Now this week, a hot new bombshell enters the villa. If you understand that reference, you either spend too much time online or you actually know where it's from. But regardless, for this week, I did not really have anything prepared. I did not really have anything planned. So I will be reading one of my short stories to you guys. I'm pausing to let that sink in. I tried to listen to a few audiobooks to get the lay of the land, to know how it's done. And, well, you guys will be the judge. If I do it perfectly, if my voice acting is amazing, you guys will be the judge of that. Anyways, I put it out there a lot that I'm writing. I've been doing a lot of writing recently, and it's true, I even have like pending stuff to finish that I cannot seem to ever go back to completing. But I promise to do that one day. I have a lot of stuff I've been writing, a lot of stuff I've been coming up with, but I've never really put them out there. I plan to, pardon me. I plan to actually put it out there. But since I've not gotten to that point yet, I was like, okay, I know that people have podcasts where they just basically read out books. So what if I try that this time around? So I'm just going to read out one of my short stories to you guys. Personally, I do not like audiobooks. I don't see why somebody will be reading my books for me. I'm very capable of reading them myself, but I know that some people love audiobooks, and since I'm too lazy to actually put out the stuff I've written in written form basically, or in typed form, this would be a good way to just share and get people's opinions. And you know how big we're on opinions and thoughts, so tell me if you enjoyed the story, tell me if it was a good one, tell me how it made you feel. All right, and just as a disclaimer, this story I'm about to read out involves two females in a relationship. So there are two women in a relationship. So if you have anything against gayism or homosexuality, you have been forewarned that this is what the story contains. So if you're not up for that, please exit the stage right now. But if you stay and you listen, while I'm open to criticism, I would not be accepting any questions as to why I portray a homosexual relationship in my books, because I portray straight relationships as well, and nobody beats me up for it. So yeah, that being said, I don't want to make it look like I'm against feedback and criticism. I'm definitely open to it. Just mind your speech, mind your words. So yeah, that being said, let me do the traditional story. Once upon a time, there was a boy. You find out the rest after the short break. Nothing is ever random. Ebasa had been with men for as long as she had been sexually active, but she did feel a small attraction for women. So call it youthful exuberance or call it fate, but like a carefully thought out plot, she changed her Tinder setting to filter for women and swiped right on a few of them, for the fun of it. This story revolves around a very specific right swipe on Tinder, Ebarakuma, or Bara, as she preferred to be called. Bara was funny, and her humor matched Ebose's whenever they texted. It became a routine, something to look forward to. This texting between them, it grew from texting once in a while to spending long hours on call. Before long, Ebose found herself smiling at the thought of something funny Bara had said earlier and feeling butterflies in her belly when Bara messaged. Soon, they agreed to meet, and Ebose did not know how to behave. Ebose was 23 and done with school. She worked at a small media firm in Port Harcourt as a content writer. Bara was 24, still doing her youth service in Asaba, while working at an IT firm as a UI UX designer. Women were uncharted territory for Ebose, but regardless, she was bursting with anticipation on the 4-hour bus ride from Port Harcourt to Asaba. They had agreed to meet in Bara's house because Bara lived alone, whereas Ebose lived with her mom and her younger brother. "I'm here," Ebose happily announced to Bara over the phone. "Okay, I'm coming. Just give me a few minutes to book a ride." With every car that pulled up to Agofere Park, Ebose's heart skipped several beats. When she finally saw Bara, her heart somersaulted. Perfect was the word that came to Ebose's mind as she watched Bara saunter into the park in her skinny jeans and t-shirt. Ebose smiled wide and waved to get her attention, careful not to betray how nervous she felt. Bara embraced her in a bear hug. "Hi, welcome to Asaba." "Thank you," Ebose responded. "Hope your journey was not stressful," Bara asked. "No, it was cool actually." "Sorry I took a while," Bara said. "I had to make sure I booked the same guy that brought me here instead of stressing over getting another ride." Ebose smiled in understanding. "It's fine." Seeing Bara was a rush of emotions, just as Ebose had anticipated. When Bara hugged her, it stirred something in her, like desire with a heavy hint of anxiety. It felt like Ebose's senses were heightened on the ride home. She was more aware of her breathing, of her sweaty palms that Bara caressed fondly, and her heart beating out of sync. The first kiss was like a powerful blow to the gates of pent-up desire. Bara had admitted she had been with a woman or two, but Ebose doubted it was just one or two, with the way she knew what to do and where to touch, as opposed to Ebose's awkwardness. The first orgasm rocked Ebose to her core. The sight of Bara's head between her legs, licking, rubbing, coaxing orgasms out of her until she was spent, would forever be imprinted in her mind and memory. Like every whirlwind romance weekend, the first visit had to come to an end. "A penny for your thoughts?" Ebose teased Bara. "They are worth at least 100k, Bara joked. "Eh? Last price 200 naira. Take it or leave it." Bara pulled Ebose closer and kissed her. "You don't need to pay. You can collect anything from me for free," she teased. Ebose felt her desire rise, but she also noticed Bara had avoided her question. Bara had been happy earlier today and suddenly her mood was different. "I can see how you carefully avoided my question," Ebose pressed. Bara sighed. "It's nothing serious. My mom called." Bara is an only child to a widowed mother, and Ebose had heard enough to know their relationship was strained. "What happened?" Ebose gently asked, while placing soft kisses on Bara's face. "You know mothers, I'm just 24 and she's already pressing for marriage and all." Ebose stilled. Does she know? Does she know?" You're with a woman? Bara shrugged. No, she does not. She suspects though, but because she knows I've been with a man or two, she has not addressed her fears. Ebose let out an uneasy chuckle and contemplated the whole scenario, the entire journey back to Port Harcourt. She too would not be able to tell her mom about her newfound interest, but the thought of being separated so soon or having to cross that bridge yet was unsettling. For the next couple of months, they planned more trips to see each other. It was a true whirlwind romance. When lockdown happened and interstate travels were banned, hours of FaceTiming and calls were all they had to soothe their longing. There is something about New Year's, something menacing, yet intriguing, like a blank book waiting for words to bring it to life. From February of 2021, Ebose noticed Bara had started pulling away, becoming more distant and unavailable. It started small, with late responses, and it grew to fewer hours spent on call. Bara would wave it off whenever Ebose tried to discuss it, citing her job as the cause. Ebose visited twice before everything became worse. During these visits, Bara would be the doting, funny woman Ebose had come to know and love. But sometime in April, Bara fell off the radar. Her phone was always switched off, and her WhatsApp account had obviously been deactivated. Anguish is not a merciful emotion. It swept Ebose off her feet, and the more clues she got, the deeper she fell into anguish. She tried finding Bara on Instagram and Facebook, but realized she was obviously blocked, and her precious Bara was hidden behind walls of privacy settings. She tried calling Bara's office, and she was told Bara had resigned a few months ago. Ebose was desperate, so she found Bara's mother's textile page on Facebook somehow and decided to call the number. Hello, she whispered when the call was answered. Welcome to Amazing Grace Textiles and Fabric. How may I help you? The voice on the other end chirped. Ebose assumed she was a sales girl. Hi, so I need to talk to your madam. Is she around? The girl paused briefly. Who is this? I'm a friend of her daughter. My name is Ebose. Is your madam around? The girl paused again. She's in her office. I can go and give her the phone. Okay, please do. I'm hanging on, Ebose said, filled with hope again. Over the phone, she heard the girl enter the madam's office. She could hear the conversation on the other end. Hello, ma. There's somebody on the phone who needs to speak with you urgently. Who is the person? The madam asked in annoyance. She says she's a friend of Madam Bara. Her name is Ebose. Give me the phone and go outside, her madam commanded. Hello, good evening, Ebose greeted. Save your greeting, please. I do not need it, Bara's mother shunned. I know who you are, she continued, and I know what you were to my daughter. I'm going to save you this stress and tell you right now to stop trying to contact my daughter. She has come to her senses, and so should you. You hear me? Before Ebose could get another word out, Bara's mom hung up on her. Ebose felt shame and sadness wash over her. She swore there and then to let Bara go without a fight. Her resolution was, however, short-lived. One evening, Ebose used her brother's phone to scour the internet for any clues. She found Bara on Facebook. Bara Benjamin Stowe, her name read. But Stowe is not a part of her names, Ebose thought in confusion. Bara's life was still highly protected with little to no post, but with a little determination, Ebose found out where the story came from. So this is who you chose over me, over us, she thought. Bara looks immaculate in the picture before Ebose, wearing a simple wedding dress, next to a man who Ebose concluded is Bara's husband. May 2nd, 2021. The day her husband shared the post and tagged her. Ebose cried herself to sleep that night and woke up the next day with fierce determination to get answers, whether by hook or by crook. So she booked the first bus for Sabah to confront Bara herself. She did not find Bara, but she did find the answers she desperately needed. Madam Bara don't travel since now. Like 3 days after she and her husband wedding, then travel come out for this country. Nobody said them go do honeymoon, no. Then they come back again. I said them go start life for Canada. The gate man at Bara's house announced all of this with glee. Like the final nail on a coffin, Ebose finally felt peace. The peace that comes with closure. No more denial, just acceptance. Nothing is ever random. Maybe that is why she met Thomas on the bus. Thomas, who comforted her, a total stranger, as she sobbed the entire ride back to Port Harcourt, making excuses for her to the other passengers as if he knew her. Thomas, who ensured she got to her doorstep safe and sound when they got to Port Harcourt. Thomas, who now stood at the altar 4 years later, waiting for her. Ebose often wonders if Bara ever thinks of her. About a month ago, she searched her name on Facebook. Her name had gone back to Ebarakumo Benjamin. No more story. Maybe there had been a divorce, but Ebose would never know. Or more. Wedding never end. Congratulations are still coming in, Ebose's brother announced, breaking her chain of thought. Who is that? Ebose asked. He handed her the phone. See now, one bar something on WhatsApp. Happy married life. Love, Ebarakumo. It was a simple message, and yet it felt like a stab to Ebose's heart. Ebarakumo. Ebose had always been fond of that name, mostly because of the meaning. Do not forget me. Indeed. Indeed. Okay, so we have officially come to the end of the should I say listening party or reading party? Well, the audiobook, that's the end. Well, I feel like I need to explain the end a little bit because I had to tweak a few things as I go because I needed to make it graphic since you're listening to it and you're not reading it yourself. But yeah, Ebarakumo means do not forget me. So that's what that ending part meant. Ebose is basically struggling to forget Ebarakumo, and that's why she really likes that name to an extent. That being said, if you enjoyed the story, if you enjoyed the episode, please let me know. This is going to be a one-off thing. I'm just doing this because I did not prepare anything for this week's episode. So that's why I'm doing this. But this is going to be a one-off thing. But if you would love to, see more of the works that come from my brain, I promise you this is like not even my best work. I promise you. But if you would love to see, please come and tell me so you ginger me to finally write it and maybe put it out there or something. I've already said that you should share the episode, but just as a reminder, please share the episode. Tell me what you think about it. And this is one of the shortest episodes, by the way. It's currently like 18 minutes. But I feel like I've said but so many times. So right now, I will just head on out. All right. Thank you very much for listening. Until next time, I love you guys to the moon and back. Bye.